Hey, 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 guys. Hey, hey, hey. Give me a moment because I thought I was ready, but clearly I'm not. Should I leave that here? No, maybe I should leave it here. Hey, if you are just tuning in, yeah, just we're here. This is Saturday. I'm just combing out my hair for a second, and my baby started crying and waking up from her nap. So we're gonna have to do this multitask the best way that we can. This is a very important question that I want to bring up because I was sitting here, not standing here, combing out my hair in front of the mirror, and started thinking, should some of us keep 9 to 5s or 2 to 11s or whatever other schedule you guys have? Should we? Because of different reasons, and I might have to give you a pause to go put her down. Hey, 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 Abstract Voice Podcast. I like this new name. I like this new name, girl. All right, so, oh, thank you. She said, you two are so beautiful. I think you're the real star in the family, but we'll talk about that later. You know what I mean? So, anyway, this question is so important because I know that we are artists and we want to create and do our thing, but should we have something stable in the meanwhile, right? Should we have something to help us support ourselves? Should we have a stream of money to invest in our endeavors? Should we have that extra? You see what I'm saying? So whenever I'm online, my daughter likes to make her noise because it's like she's talking to, which I find funny. Look at her. But she's also teething, so I'm just gonna have her up here for a couple of minutes and then go take her to do something else. Um, this question is important because even myself, if you don't know me and you're just tuning in, I am Tequila Sway in the poetry community and as an artist, but my government name is Tequila Cheetah, which is what my books are written in. If you would like to add me on IG, it's Tequila Sway. If you would like to add me on TikTok, it's Tequila Sways. All right. Anyway, she's looking at the light. So I ask this question even as a stay-at-home mom because that's included as well. I'm an artist, right? I'm an artist. That's what I am. That's what I do. That's just me, right? But a lot of people don't. I think this idea of the struggling artist is it can't exist anymore, especially in the uh, economic environments that we're in. And we have to be smart about what we're doing, how we're supporting ourselves, how we're putting ourselves out there. And I realized that some of us don't have the business sense. Some of us aren't interested in learning business, even though we should. And some of us just don't really care. So I'm wondering, And some of us also have other people to depend on to take care of us. Look, she's over here. So, in this sense of, should artists keep a 9 to 5? It's important to think about because, oh, she's waving, guys, she's waving. Oh my gosh, that's her first time waving like on camera. Oh, such a big girl. Hey Loki Joker. A business, yes, a business is independent if you are a sole proprietor. So the thing about having a business is you have to think about what type of business you want. You have to think about whether you want to learn business. You have to think about all these different things in order to put yourself in a position of financial freedom, financial security. We can go on and on, right? But in this case, because I know a lot of people say don't have, some people say don't have a plan. Look, she's putting her hand. Don't have a plan B. Just go straight and all the way through with plan A. Just go hardcore on plan A. Which, okay, I get it. The on the other end is, I don't want to say it like this, but not all artists are going to make it in the way that they want to make it, to where they're making a whole lot of money, unless we start adapting some of the strategies to become business owners and business minded. All right, that's what I'm attempting to say, because my baby's gonna keep chiming in between that because she has something to say too. And if you're wondering why my hair looks like this, it's because I was in here doing my hair and then she started crying. But I was going to talk to you while I was doing my hair. Give me 1 second, okay? Give me a pause. And if you are tuning into this video, be sure to go up to the right hand corner and tap like for this video, and also to subscribe if you are new. Welcome. I am Tequila Sway. We talk about art. We're going to start talking about some art news as far as other artists and just entrepreneur tips, because I feel like we should. I'm also going to be vlogging sometimes because it's really hard for me to do anything with a baby, but the best way for me to do that is to vlog and then do some type of voiceover to still show up. Okay, because my whole thing is that I'm a consistent person and I like to show up, but I can't always because I got a little baby. Hey, hi. Give me a second. I'll be right back, okay? Hold on 1 second. And if you... I'm going to wait on that. I'm going to wait on what I was going to say. Give me 1 second, okay? Okay, hey guys, so in between I'm going to have to jump in and out because I know she's not going to sit for long without me. So okay, anyway, so back to the topic at hand. I'm in the bathroom doing my hair, don't mind me, but this is the best way to come to you on live. Okay, so anyway, the whole idea of having a 9 to 5 when you're an artist is that some artists feel like it doesn't motivate them to create. Like work gets in the way of creating, which I understand because I've also I've also worked like a 7 to 3, a 9 to 5, and a 2 to 11 before. I get it. And it was really difficult for me to create. However, I still created in between those times before I had to go back to work. Not necessarily always afterwards because I would be tired if it's a 2 to 11, and I'm not really a night person like that. But if it's like a 9 to 5 or a 7 to 3, I take some time for myself and for my artistry because it's important, right? It's important. If something is important to you, you're going to make time for it regardless. You're not going to make excuses. You're just going to do it. And so in the case of a 9 to 5, you have to weigh the possibilities of growth versus not working a job and not growing as much as you want to, right? At some point, I was working a job, starting a business, writing a book, and homeschooling all at once, all together. To this day, I still don't know how I did that and still have my marbles, but that was with my son. You know, he's going to be 14 soon, so that's a different story, different time, different place. But in this age, in this big age, at this big age, I don't necessarily want to burn myself out in that way. And I have to think of different ways to monetize, to make sure I have different streams of income, to make sure I am promoting entrepreneurship and business, make sure I have my business set up a certain way, which I'm reconstructing right now because there's a lot that I've learned over the past couple of years that I want to do over, right? Because sometimes you just have to. You just have to. I mean, you're not going to be perfect. Nothing's perfect. And if you're waiting on perfection, good luck. You're never going to start anything, or you're never going to finish, or you're never going to continue it, right? Sorry, I don't know why I'm in the bathroom drinking. It's a whole different story. I don't care. The whole point is, if you are saying you don't want a 9 to 5, right? What are you going to do in the meanwhile? How are you going to support yourself financially? How are you going to invest in yourself financially? Because at the end of the day, you still need things. If I'm a painter, I still need paint, brushes, canvases, pencils, whatever. If I'm a musician, which is more expensive, I'm definitely going to need instruments. I'm going to need a guitar. I'm going to need a keyboard. I'm going to need, it's different things that you're going to need. So if you don't have a 9 to 5, how else are you getting your money to invest in yourself? You see what I mean? So I know a lot of artists don't want to do a 9 to 5 or 2 to 11 or 7 to 3 or whatever the case may be. But are you shortening yourself by not having one? Are you crippling yourself by not having one? And if you don't have a 9 to 5, what other avenues are you making your money? Or is someone solely taking care of you? Because even as a stay-at-home mom, I still have to do something. That's just for my own sanity and peace. So being a content creator is what I'm building up. Even though I don't like to call myself that, I'm just an artist, right? But creating content just based on my whole personal life, based on my art, based on whatever, is going to be something that I'm working towards long term. So I have to keep putting it out there until I'm built up to where it's passively coming in. And even still, it's not passively because I still got to do the work. I still got to do the video. I still got to edit. You see what I'm saying? Unless I don't care about that. Which most of the time I really don't care about doing editing and all that. But some things I do. So you have to ask yourself, is having a 9 to 5 worth it? Should I have a 9 to 5? Should I have a 7 to 3? Should I have a 2 to 11? And why? And then you weigh the pros and the cons. Here are the pros on one side of the paper on why a 9 to 5 will help me, on why whatever time will help me with a job. And here are the cons to having a job, right? And then you weigh it. But if you feel like you can get by with just doing gigs, depending on what type of artist you are, if you can get by doing gigs, for example, if I'm a musician, if I go to my local, I don't know, lounge or something, and I ask them if they are looking for more entertainment, Maybe they'll pay me a set amount, to do some performances throughout the weekday, or maybe just on the weekend. Are you doing gigs and they're paying you $300 a week? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's different ways to do it. It's just a matter of how are you going to do it, and having a system set up for yourself to do it. But either way, whether you have a 9 to 5 or a gig, you still have to have some type of business mindset. You still have to have some type of entrepreneur spirit. You see what I'm saying? Because, for example, I'm going to use the same instance as a musician. I'm using musician because I'm learning guitar and I'm going to eventually have to do some of these things. Even if you don't have that entrepreneur mindset or business mindset, you're going to have to develop one, because you got to have negotiation skills. You got to know how to communicate what it is that you want, and how that business in particular can elevate their business having you there. You're going to have to think about payment methods and how you're going to receive payment. You can't just take cash and have no paper trail for how you collect cash. It's still like, you still have to have some type of professionalism. You still have to have some type of strategy, some type of system, some type of something to show that, hey, even if I don't have a 9 to 5, I still got a business mind. And people respect that. You know what I mean? People respect that. So, do you think that we should have 9 to 5s? Or can we just get by doing a gig life? I mean, some people do it. Some people get by just doing gigs. Some people don't believe in having 9 to 5s because I guess it restricts your freedom, the freedom that artists like to have. We don't like for people to keep us down, to tell us what time to do stuff. Is it just me? Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Is it just me, or do you feel the same way? I don't know. It depends on the person's personality and entrepreneurial foundation. I would say for me, I didn't have an entrepreneurial foundation. Nobody taught me about entrepreneurship. However, I can tell you that growing up, and here's just a little backstory to my own personal life. My stepsister and I, well, I call her my sister. My sister and I, when we were growing up, we had these big imaginations, right? I'm sorry, hi Isha. Aisha or Isha? We had these big imaginations, and we would always envision, what can we do together to build a business, to be artists, to just be, I don't know, we just had these personalities of how can we get better, or how can we be bigger, or something. And in this case, my father lived near this park area where the mayor, I think it was the mayor, also worked. Like, the mayor's office was close to that park in particular, and we would go to that park every time we were over my dad's house. In this particular time, we realized something was lacking in the park. It was lacking, and we decided, like, we should go talk to somebody about this. Who should we talk to about this to make this park better? Because we need more, like, access to the swings. We need more something. I don't know what it was, but it was like the type of park that had the rubber thingies, rubber tires cut up and not sand. And we were looking for ways to make the park better for kids. So you know what we did? At our little age, I don't know how old we were, maybe 8, 9, 10, maybe. And we went marching up to the mayor's office, demanding to speak to him, because we felt like he was not doing his job. And the secretary was so nice about it. She told the mayor, I guess you have some guests who would like to speak to you, some people in the community who would like to speak to you, and yeah, you should see them. And he allowed us to come back there and speak to him. And we didn't know anything about politics. We're young. We don't know. And he was just saying, what can I do for you ladies? What's the problem? Remind you, we're kids. and what brings you here? I appreciate you ladies coming here. And we said, good afternoon. We were respectful. Oh, my baby's crying. She looking at me crying. Oh, okay, I'm coming to get you. And we said we need more things at the park. Our park needs to be better. It's falling apart. We gave him like reasons why and everything. Remind you, we're young. And he was like, okay. He took a little notepad and he started writing down Fix Park and whatever else. And we realized at that point in time, not only were we courageous to do that, but we had a voice for 2. And for 3, we were willing to help him in whatever way that we could, whether that's entrepreneurially, if that's the word, to help him build the park for all kids in the neighborhood. Hold that thought. Give me a second. Um, okay. So I'm going to attempt to. Okay, so we were willing to help in any way that we could to contribute to the city, to our, not the necessary city, but our park area. And this is in Miami, Florida, where I grew up, born and raised, right? And and in between that time, while he gets that stuff together and fixes the area, we found something else in the neighborhood that we didn't know about because we were curious kids. Like, our parents trusted us to go roam the neighborhood. They knew we weren't going to be doing nothing crazy, so my dad trusted us to go and roam, right? And he also trusted us enough to, if something was wrong, that we would go to the nearest adult and tell them about it and run home. He knew that, he just trusted us. We were mature enough to do that. But anyway, along the way, we found a theater. Not a movie theater, a play theater, a live theater, where a live theater, and if you don't know anything about me, I write poetry, but I also write plays. Like, I've always imagined like my own play coming to life, and one of my plays actually won first place. But anyway, we discovered that it was a theater in the neighborhood, and the door was cracked open because the janitors were cleaning the theater. So myself, my sister, and a couple of our friends decided that we wanted to enter the theater, right? We were scared because we weren't supposed to be in there, and we knew that. We knew better, but we weren't going to do anything crazy. We just wanted to see what it was like, how it was, and just play around maybe in there like we were big stars and just imagine. So we got in there and we found the prop room, the costume room, where so many props were. I mean, like, it was so many. I was excited about that. It was so many. The theater was huge. And I just remember just like us being on stage and first of all, we put the stuff on. We weren't supposed to be doing that, okay? But we put the stuff on, then we came out on stage and we were like, whatever we were saying, right? And pretending like we were superstars or in a play. And I just remember one day just standing there, just looking out at the crowd, like, this could actually be my life. Like, I could actually be an artist, and just looking around. And I was to myself for a moment, and just looking around, like, I could be an artist, because an artist can also be an entrepreneur. An artist can sell shows. An artist can, make their own money. And from that day on, I wanted to be a singer. Like, I just imagined myself wanting to be a singer on stage, even though I was shy and introverted. I just imagined that life for me. I imagined that life for me. Why didn't I become a singer? It's going to be a whole different live. But, having a dad who used to take me to the pack jams in Miami, Florida, it's like street performances where you have a DJ and everybody comes out from the neighborhood and they vibe. But going to pack jams and my mom wrote lyrics back then, so I used to find like her notebook and saw her lyrics. I actually memorized one of her raps because she used to rap too. Her and my dad was working on some stuff. But she used to rap, and I memorized one of her raps that she didn't finish to this day. And right now I can recite the rap, but I'm not, because I asked her for permission to finish it a couple of years ago. She said sure. But anyway, the whole idea is that I never saw myself having a 9 to 5 for some reason. I never wanted one, but I knew that artists had to take on side gigs or whatever they had to do to live the artist life, because that's what they truly wanted to do inside. At some point, things started switching, and I wanted to become a pediatrician. I love kids. I absolutely love kids. But I wanted to become a pediatrician in between that time because I got intimidated by the stardom of being a singer, performer, right? But that's another story. The whole point is to say, like, I've worked retail. I've tested out different types of sales jobs. I've done different things, tutoring, all of that stuff, and I know that I did not like a 9 to 5. However, I also grew and learned that I had the discipline to work that type of schedule. Not because I was forced to, but because that's what I wanted to do, to build that type of structure for myself and to have the money to invest in whatever it is that I wanted to do. So when we think about, oh, I don't want a regular job. I actually, one of my brothers said that. He's like, I don't want to work. I don't want to be caught in the system. Bro, what are you going to do for money? You can't. That's a whole different. I'm not going to get into that. But, yeah. So, even though we may not want to do it, we have to. Because who else is going to invest in you? Who else is going to get you that microphone? I mean, my man is kind of helping me in some aspects when it comes to my artistry right now, but like my guitar was a gift from him. But in the case of, like, if you wanted to go to another state, just randomly and perform at different lounges, can you fund that yourself? You see what I mean? So I know that we all want this idea of freedom, but it takes the work to get there. It takes working that 9 to 5, 7 to 3, 2 to 11 to get there. Or it definitely takes you having some type of strategy, which content creation is the big thing right now, which is why I'm working on building up my channels. I have 2 channels. One is dealing with artistry, which is one of them. This is my artist channel, and the other one's about family. But hi Skylar. Oh, your name is Skylar. My baby's name is Sky. I know that it's intimidating, or it can be boring, or it can seem uninteresting to have a job. I get it, but if that's where you gotta start, then start. And if you cannot or don't want to start there, what gigs or what else are you willing to sacrifice or do in order to make your art accessible to everyone else? Are you willing to learn things about business? Are you willing to set up certain systems to help you to sell your art? Are you what are you willing to do to make your art career plan A only? You see what I mean? Because if we are eliminating plan B, are you willing to, or what are you willing to do to ensure that plan A works out for you? That's the question. That's the question. You see what I mean? So there's so many things that you could do. There's so many ways to go about it. Check out Google Courses. Yep. Check out Google Courses for tech certifications, because this is the digital age, and I know that a lot of people are into tech. I'm not necessarily into tech, but I've taught myself how to do certain things. I taught myself how to do editing. I taught myself how to do make my flyers. I taught myself that stuff. But If you are someone who has an interest in certain things, there are certifications out there that you can get for free. There are courses out there that you can get that you can take for the low. You have to be willing to do the work at a 9 to 5 or the work to set up a system, to have a business, or both. I did both. And I'm doing the latter at the moment to set up my systems and make sure that I can have more free time because I have a baby. However, I have done the 9 to 5, the 7 to 3, and the 2 to 11 as well. So, just saying, should artists do 9 to 5s as a backup? To me, I'm going to answer that and say yes. Whether that's a 9 to 5, 7 to 3, 2 to 11, whatever, overnight, I don't know. But I do because it's a way to invest in yourself. It's a way to take care of yourself and not have to fully depend on no one else. And it also shows that you have the discipline that you're going to need in business. Because no one else is going to negotiate for you. No one's going to set up your payment methods. No one's going to do you got to do all of that stuff yourself unless you have the money to pay someone to do it for you. And if you have the money to do it, that means you're going to need the job unless you're rich. I mean, if you're rich, then you just say that. But, I'm just saying there are options out there, but I think that all artists should have their own money in some type of way to invest in yourself and to have stable grounds for yourself. All right. This is the first part of this video. I'm going to have something like laid out, something more structured at a time that I could do it, that I have like 3 points or 3 to 5 points. But in the meantime, I just wanted to come on and like give you guys this idea to sit on and think about, even if you're young, because I know a lot of young people following me right now and watch my lives for some reason, but I hope that you are allowing these conversations to sit with you, because there are a lot of young people who are content creators making a lot more money than I am because kids are supporting other kids. That's the other thing. So even my son, he's almost 14, he supports other kids by watching their content. You see what I mean? So it's so many ways to do it, but we just have to have a structure on how we want to do things and be willing to put yourself out there. Because as a former introvert, I was not willing to do that at first, but I said, in order to do my dreams, in order to accomplish my dreams, I had to. You have to. You can't be shy. You can't be introverted to the point where it's stopping you from accomplishing your goals. You just got to go with it. You got to use that introversion and that shyness as amplification, like, as energy to get you to your goals. Oh, are you still saying hi, or are you saying bye? Okay, it's time to go. I think she's getting hot. I'm getting hot too because my face is getting red. Anyway, I hope this does something for you. I hope this helps you to start thinking about things in a different way, because that's the whole idea of my lives, is to help you think about things in a different way, not to sway you, no pun intended, tequila sway, not to sway you to believe in what I believe in, but to give you a different perspective of things and to just think about it. And you run with it, or you don't. Okay, baby, okay. All right, y'all, I gotta go because she's gonna get irritated and she's gonna start fussing y'all in a minute. Getting over the introversion. You have to use it as your superpower. All right, anyway, guys, I'm going to put in my description what's holding up my phone right now, and when I get a chance, and finish doing my hair, combing out my hair, and check back in with you guys on a different time and a different day randomly, because I can't schedule it. All right, talk to you guys later. Remember to stay focused and keep going. All right.